And it is, again, a decision that no one can logically or morally defend. The idea that there's a word that cannot be uttered under any circumstance is completely insane. And it is not something that there's no other word in the English language or any other language in existence that we have those kinds of rules for. Judging on your skin pigment, if it's this shade, you can't say it at all under any circumstance. But if it's a little bit of a darker shade, then say it all the time, and it's totally fine. So there's no context where it can be said over here. There is no context where it can't be said over here. And we are going to decide that based on how dark your skin is.
Matt Walsh isn't very happy, you guys, because he wants to be able to step outside of his friends and also his own house to spout off the N-word anytime that he'd like. As a matter of fact, he'd like to wag his finger in some black person's face and call them names as many times as possible. Maybe even like incite some violence towards them as well. It's okay, Matt, we already know. You say it all the time. His problem is that he'd like to go ahead and go back to the good old days of saying it like they used to, because he just doesn't understand. Dennis Prager also doesn't understand, surprisingly, more.
And the more the left controls, the more totalitarian it is. That is not an attack, it's a statement of fact, like 2 + 2 = 4. It is idiotic that you cannot say the N-word. Idiotic. Of course, you should never call anybody the N-word. That's despicable. But to say the word, you can't even say that the word is despicable. You have to say the N-word.
They're so very upset. Not only can humans, they're upset about these conservatives, whether or not they can say the N-word or not, because again, we know you do. But apparently Ben Shapiro, I hadn't heard about this before today. Ben Shapiro also in the past had issues with the way, we know AI is blowing up. It can't even utter the word. Man, I wish I had some kind of escape here. Let's listen.
Whoever is programming ChatGPT has decided that the highest form of morality, the thing that matters literally the most, is making sure that no one ever says a racial slur, up to and including saving millions of people.
It's a problem, Francesca. It's a problem.
You have to weigh in, JR.
I was gonna let you go first. Okay, fine, I'll go.
Please.
So, every person has heard these conversations had, especially folks that are many times the targets of these types of things. So what is it that, my question is, I wonder what is it that's bubbled up under the surface for these folks to be so upset right now about it, number one. Number two, their problem is they're acting like this is some kind of law. And I would go to remind them that you can say the word all you want. There's just sometimes consequences for it, for the particular company that you'd like to say it in front of. And do you understand the meaning behind the word, the history behind the word? No, they do. That's what they don't want more folks to understand, because they need this to be sanitized. They need to be washed away, and make sure anybody else who's used this and weaponized it in our systemic way that we've conducted our racist background in our country, they want to make sure that no one really knows how this whole thing has gone about. They're trying to neutralize it and make sure this is nothing to them. But by the way, the ironic part is there's this guy named Ron DeSantis down in Florida that actually is legislatively, along with his legislators in the House, trying to keep you from saying or admitting or saying who they really are. Those words being gay, trans, bi, lesbian, those types of
people legislating against using their different pronouns than the ones you were assigned at birth. Oh yeah, those are like, that's really the N-word. And it's just, I agree with you, man. Say it, cowards. Just say it. Yeah, reclaim it. Do it. Let's see what happens. Let's see all your advertisers jump ship, and then you can call them woke, and then Mike Lindell will swoop in and be like, I have a feather left of my pillows. You know what I mean? Like, this is what the right has. That's all they have left. It's all they have left. They are so bored. They've won so much. They have so many tax breaks. We live in late stage capitalist hell. They have not, like, almost all the Supreme Court justices. They are bored, and they believe that not being able to say this one word is actually their oppression. That, like, you have black privilege because you can say it and they can't. And that's all it boils down to. And the funniest thing is, why now, JR? Is in part, as Shapiro said, is part because ChatGPT has more of a moral center than Ben Shapiro and Dennis Prager do, because it's not saying it. And that's why Elon Musk thinks ChatGPT is like too PC. Like, these people are on one. They're so bored. Go play with a dog. Play with your Actually, stay far away from children.
That would be the actually other problem. So yeah, it's come to this next thing. They've run out of things to complain about because whenever everything else is already handed off to you, then why would I have any issue with anything else? So this, I really would like to know the origins and the reasons behind this latest anger and negative push. By the way, there's a couple words. This is a society-based thing, you guys. There's a word that's used more freely over in England. That's disparaging and many times used towards women. And we don't say it here either. I guess that's next week for them to complain about, because we need that in our vocabulary as well.